230 in 15 months. I would not recommend this. It is incredibly unsustainable unless you just naturally hate carbs, which I don't. After I passed my goal, 250, I stopped doing keto. Lost a bit more naturally and got into a poor relationship. Slowly started gaining weight back until that relationship ended, and then gained a lot more. Then the pandemic hit, and I gained a metric shit ton. Tried to start eating better, but it didn't work. I think the shock of eating carbs regularly again, plus the amount of food I ate being stuck at home, fucked me up hard. By mid-2021, I was 390 at my highest. Was in my forever relationship at this point, and she encouraged me to do it again, but properly. I joined the gym, started counting calories and trying to eat better in general. Since early 2022, I am down to 320 as of yesterday. It's taking longer, but it's working, and it's actually sustainable this time. I don't feel trapped in a diet that makes me miserable. My goal is 250 again, but I have no timeline. I feel better than ever even at my current weight. Game changer 2. My cousin went from stereotypically fat, I have no idea how much he weighed, but he was big, to slim and toned within about 12 months. When I inquired about what changes he made, he said he stopped drinking alcohol, full stop. That was replaced by water, some tea, no sugar, and the occasional Diet Coke. Started counting calories, so he'd never go over 1900. I think that's what he said in a day. I recall he was aiming ideally for about 1700 per day, and regular cardiovascular exercise. It wasn't anything immense, something like 20 to 30 minutes on a rowing machine or exercise bike 4 to 5 times a week, enough to work up a sweat and get the heart pumping, though he did state that it was mainly just for fitness, not weight loss. First time I ever heard, you lose weight in the kitchen, not the gym. He also did press-ups and sit-ups for general tone and strength. But the one thing he stressed was quitting booze. He had been a regular heavy drinker, mostly beer, most nights of the week. He also emphasized this was only one factor, however. In isolation, it wouldn't have been enough. It was a stark change, and I remember what he said purely for how relatively simple it sounded, this the very obvious difference in himself. I was genuinely fascinated. It was a true double-take moment when I saw him in his new form for the first time. About 3 years later now, and he's still slim and in good shape. At this point, I think he's just very mindful of what he eats and drinks, and maintains light, regular exercise. And he doesn't just look good, he's clearly so much happier. So much more confident and energetic than he was, more upbeat and optimistic. His entire demeanor is different to what it was when he was the fat guy. I, however, have started noticing middle age spread in myself and am about to follow his example. Game changer 3. I've lost over 100 pounds. The shift for me was moving from a diet mindset to a lifestyle change mindset. Rather than trying another fad, I cut out most unhealthy snacks, avoided drinking most caloric drinks, water and coffee ft. Tried eating more meats/fruits/veggies than not, and got smaller plates doubled up by a no more second/third plates ideal. Add regular walks on top, and the weight just melted off. Sure, sometimes it's the opening weekend of football, and I eat way too much pizza and drink way too much beer with homies. But since I'm not on a strict diet, having simply embraced a healthier living mindset, I don't beat myself up and veer back into overeating since I'd already let myself down, or whatever. The next day, I just went back to my normal life. Over the long term, it worked wonders for both my physical and mental health. Whole lot less stressful than fad diets too. Game changer 4. Being diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. My doctor said that we could control it with an oral medication initially, metformin. He said there was a chance that I'd be able to control it. But what usually happened is people got progressively worse. Eventually, I'd probably go on insulin, and in a few years, he'd be cutting off my feet. That scared me, and I immediately changed my diet. I avoided carbs as much as reasonably possible. I also cut out sugar as much as possible. Even though I was told that milk chocolate was fine for diabetics, I'd avoided it initially too. I also started exercising daily, 5x a week. Even if I didn't feel like it, which was often, I still put in the 40 to 60 minute workout. I alternated between weight training and cardio. Though I wasn't really trying to build muscle, that did happen. I also lost a lot of weight. In about 6 months, I lost about 40 pounds. My doctor was impressed with my results, but all it took was stopping eating everything I wanted and to actually get moving a little. I sit at a desk all day, so exercising was really required. It's not that hard. Today, several years later, I'm still down and exercising the same regimen. I eat bacon and other protein every day, and of course vegetables. My cholesterol is unusually low. I still avoid carbs as much as possible, but I don't do keto. I eat milk chocolate and a variety of sugar-free sweets that are available today. Some are indistinguishable from their sugared counterparts. And of course, I can drink as many diet sodas as I like. So I didn't cure my diabetes, but it is well controlled. I'm not on insulin and hopefully I never will be. Realistically, diabetes will kill me someday, but hopefully I'll die with my feet firmly attached. I never realized what a fatso I was. My wife never complained. But finding clothes that fit and didn't make me look as fat as I was a real pain. But today people still come up to me and comment on how much weight I've lost. And finding clothes that fit and look good is much easier. I'll have to keep at it, and I'll probably never be cured. But that diagnosis was the real game changer. My feet won't win any beauty contests, but I'm attached to them. Game changer 5. I just eat a lot less. Like maybe 2 to 3 times a day. And I have been eating at home more as opposed to eating out, although it's a little tough with my university campus having fast food joints. I also go through times of cutting out soda. I am currently in the process of getting out of another relapse lol. I don't count calories at the moment. I find that doing that stresses me out cause it's like you're not allowed to eat anything with sugar, carbs, or whatever. Meanwhile, a lot of foods and drinks have sugar and carbs in them, and I'll be damned if I ever have to give up pasta. Anyway, doing all that and I've lost about 20 plus ups. I have quite a bit to go, but I will take 5 pounds lost as a victory. I do hope to have a more balanced lifestyle as I'm lacking in veggies. I gag when I eat cooked vegetables with a few exceptions, and then I get bored when I do make something healthy and then it all goes to waste. I just have to take it one day at a time. Game changer 6. I was living with my parents eating the garbage takeout, fast food, and every night desserts for 25 years, which is over 10 years ago now. I was 310 pounds, 5'8". Around the time my grandmother died, she suffered from similar diet-related issues. I started making my own meals. My parents ate out a lot, so I taught myself to cook slowly. But I started with literal frozen chicken breast and broccoli microwaved. I got better. I started walking on a treadmill 1 hour a day. I lost 70 pounds in about 8 months, moved out, and lost another 80 pounds a bit more slowly. I ate chicken and broccoli for 6 years, 10 to 15 meals a week. Eventually, I picked up running, which allowed me to finally eat good food again. Then I got married and had kids. But I kept running, ran 16 half marathons, and 3 marathons. I've gained quite a bit of that weight back now, but I'm still 110 pounds down, and I still have my ID in my wallet from the time I was turned down in a bar because I looked like half the man in the photo. But yeah, game changer was meal planning and taking control of my diet from my parents. Game changer 7. I simply had a lot of hard times hit me all at once. I won't get into it, but I wasn't always in bad shape by any means, and my grandfather drilled it into my head growing up that he'd rather see me dead than to ever see me be lazy. He is a stonemason. I could hear someone making a joke in my mind. Once at a job on lunch, he gasps and tells one of our guys to grab a cup, quick like, because my boy is sweating. Everyone was confused, and he said, "Catch that bead of sweat rolling off that boy's brow. His sweating is so goddamn rare. I guarantee a drop of it would cure cancer." Of course, the whole crew dies laughing. I was fucking 11. But I never forgot that. Now, when I had health problems, my ex of 5 years up in Lefty, an EF4 tornado destroyed my block, and someone stole thousands from me that I owed to someone else as it was. I really didn't have a choice. My ass had to mountain bike everywhere for like a solid year. I had to get up. I had to do these things. And now I'm just like ripped without even trying. Could ride a 7-speed mountain bike for miles and miles in a day now. Sweat was my badge of honor, and I did a damn lot of it last summer especially. I don't have any encouragement to offer besides saying fuck Lance Armstrong, and you ain't got shit on me. Shortly after this was solid, I was given a puppy thought to be a German Shepherd, but was actually a Belgian Malinois. I am involved with my dogs, and putting it simply, being involved with a Malinois is a job. Like, it's work, and so with those two things combined, my male pup also loves mountain biking. You can't even own one of those dogs, especially the first 4 years, and not be somewhat active, and the dog have a good life. They get to a point, and no other breed I've seen do this either, where they will simply be demanding that you get the fuck up, that we go do something, that we're being productive somehow. Yeah, that's how I lost a lot of weight. An EF4 Tornado, a mountain bike, and a Belgian Malinois. Game Changer 8. A month shy of my 40th birthday. I weighed 330 pounds. I was on 2 different BP meds. My doctor made me come for a checkup every 6 months and blood work annually. She's been telling me for years I needed to get my weight under control. My mother died just after turning 47. She wasn't obese, but she didn't take care of her health, and diabetes destroyed her heart. My father made it to 63 but had severe diabetes and 3 heart attacks, the last of which finally did him in. So this time when blood work came back, my A1C was 7.2, and I was put on metformin and very bluntly told if I lost weight and made changes I could get it under control. If I didn't, it would eventually damage all my organs and kill me. That phrasing was exactly what I needed to get the point across. The next day, I decided to start a low-carb diet and find ways to get active that I could incorporate into my daily life, like walking during the day, taking the stairs instead of the elevator, walking instead of driving short distances, and such. I eventually bought a stationary bike and started using it too. I lost 50 pounds by December, 106 months, and a bit over 150 by the next October. I was able to stop all the meds. I started working out and jogging after that. When COVID hit and everything shut down for a while, I got out of my habits and eventually gained about 50 pounds back. My BP has stayed normal still, and my A1C a little higher than normal, but not enough for meds again. I've been back on low carb and exercising regularly again, and I'm losing now. I don't know what I'm at, but from past experience, it should be somewhere near 200. I judge by the way my clothes fit now instead of a scale. Weight will be a lifelong issue for me. If I don't pay attention to what I'm eating and my physical activity every day, I easily go off the rails and get into terrible habits. So my routine now